All right, so I know I'm late with this one. With the holidays ending last week and everything, I was pretty busy and couldn't really get on to record this in time. So usually the new games video comes out at the beginning of each month. So that's what I'm going to try and plan and stick with and everything. But one thing is going to change. So instead of it being just any genre and like any game and me picking out five, I think I'm going to focus on the RPGs that are coming out for the month. So it could be, action RPG, JRPG, pixel RPG, MMO. Long as it falls in the RPG, genre category, then that's what I think I'm going to cover because the open genre, it wasn't catching on too much. And I thought it kind of opened things up to, a wide audience variety, that kind of thing, where I want to kind of just stick with the RPG theme for now. So let me know in the comments what you think, and if you think that's a bad change or you wanted me to go back to the other way. I write everything. I do this. I make up the rules, that kind of stuff. So I can always change it back. So let me know your comments and your thoughts on that. So I think I'm going to just stick with the RPGs that are coming out for the month. So it could be, one month we might only have one or two, but then we can kind of dive into significant major updates for games, passes, expansions, stuff like that. So we got some things to talk about. So yeah, let me know your comments on that. I would appreciate that. So let's get into the RPGs that are releasing in the month of January. It's a little slow, but we got some new games coming out towards the end of the month, and then we have some new games that are getting expansions, pre-patches, added co-op. So check that out at the end of the video too for the major updates to some games that are already out. So again, I appreciate it. So let's jump into our first one, and it is a game that has a lot of titles. I'm currently checking out a remake of, I guess, the original. It is I'm playing it on stream, so if you want to check that out, Tuesday Tales is the stream, and I'm streaming like one more night a week, something like that. So I am playing Trails in the Sky, first chapter, and this is number 13 in the line of games. So this one is for a specific audience, but if you want to jump in, there's tons of games you can play in sequence up to this one. And like I said, I'm playing the first one on stream. It is the remake first chapter. If you want to check that out, go to the live section on the channel. But this one is Legend of Heroes Trails Beyond the Horizon. This one comes out on January 15th. So as I said, this is the 13th main installment in the Trails series, part of the larger The Legend of Heroes franchise, and follows directly from Trails through Daybreak 2. This game continues the sweeping narrative of the continent of Zemuria, bringing together characters from multiple previous Trails arcs. And this is pretty cool. So if you play through all of them, all your characters kind of come together here. So we have Van Arkride from Trails Through Daybreak, Reen Schwarzer from Trails of Cold Steel, and Father Kevin Graham from Trails in the Sky. The core story revolves around a looming prophecy about the end of Zemuria and humanity's first space venture. The game builds on the series' signature blend of deep storytelling and strategic combat while introducing new systems. And from playing Trails in the Sky first chapter, the combat's pretty cool. I enjoyed it. It's a nice hybrid style. And that's kind of what we have here. We have hybrid combat allowing shifts between real-time field battles and turn-based command battles. Short commands and S-boosts that give new tactical options are also added to the battle system. Players can build custom parties, explore the Calvard Republic, and tackle unique optional content like the Grim Garden Dungeon, where deeper narrative and cross-faction interactions occur. Now, in my opinion, this sounds like you would need to play a bunch of the previous games to get the overall, like the full appreciation and understanding of the background of the characters, the overarching plot of the series. Now, I read you can do this as a standalone experience, but I just don't see it. When this is the 13th game in the series, I really think this is for a fan of the series, of the Trails games and that kind of stuff. So there is a lot of history built up here. So I think this is for a very specific audience, but don't let me keep you from the game if you want to check it out. And like I said, there's a lot of history here. And from the first chapter, I believe, is a good start because I'm enjoying that game. And like I said, it's the beginning. So Trails Beyond the Horizon releases on January 15th. Next up is Arknights Endfield. This is an upcoming free-to-play action RPG from Hypergriff set in the same universe as Arknights, but this time everything plays very differently. You step into the role of the Administrator, leading Endfield industries on the hostile frontier world of Talos 2. This planet is dangerous, unexplored, and packed with resources, and it's your job to survive, expand, and build something sustainable. Gameplay shifts away from tower defense into real-time, squad-based action. You control a team of up to 4 characters, swapping between them on the fly, chaining abilities, and reacting to enemies in fast, tactical combat. Outside of combat, Endfield leans heavily into base building and automation. You'll gather resources, set up production lines, manage factories, and expand your industrial network across multiple regions, turning exploration and combat into long-term progression. Instead of one massive open world, the game uses interconnected zones filled with hazards and strategic objectives, making every outpost and supply line matter. Arknights Endfield blends action RPG combat, deep strategy, and sci-fi world building into something that feels ambitious, methodical, and very different from its roots. Arknights Endfield launches on January 22nd. So this next game is inspired by Paper Mario and has a really cool and unique twist to it. I was surprised to find out about this game. I didn't find much on it, so most of what I'm conveying to you comes from the Steam page. So check this one out, it's really interesting. Escape from Everafter is an upcoming adventure RPG inspired by the classic Paper Mario games, blending colorful storytelling with snappy turn-based combat. In this game, you play as Flint Buckler, a fairy tale adventurer who returns to his old dragon enemy's castle, only to find it's been transformed into the corporate headquarters of Everafter Incorporated, a greedy megacorporation exploiting storybook worlds for profit. With the castle's ruler nowhere to be found, Flint is forced to get a job, team up with unlikely allies, including his former nemesis, and climb the corporate ladder to take down Everafter Incorporated from the inside. Now, gameplay mixes fast-paced, strategic turn-based battles with perfectly timed action commands, letting you experiment with items, badges, and unique abilities to outsmart the enemies. Now, again, much like Paper Mario. So outside of combat, you'll explore vibrant storybook worlds filled with side quests, treasures, secrets, and unravel the fun and unpredictable stories where everything is changing just like a storybook. Now, it's got a whimsical art style, a jazzy big band soundtrack, and a narrative that feels, again, just like a story. So check out this charming RPG. Escape from Everafter launches on January 23rd. Next up is an anime action RPG. This is Seven Deadly Sins Origin. Origin looks to be an ARPG with real-time battles where you assemble a diverse team of heroes and switch between them on the fly, chaining powerful combos and tactical skills against huge bosses and monstrous foes. But Origin isn't just about combat. You're free to explore a vast, beautifully rendered open world built in Unreal Engine 5, discovering hidden secrets, solving environmental challenges, and traversing everything from sun-dappled forests to ruined citadels. The game supports solo play, but you can also team up with a friend in optional co-op. The game blends story-driven quests with dynamic world events that make every corner of Britannia feel alive. With a roster full of familiar faces and brand new characters, real-time action combat, and a sweeping multiverse tale that stands on its own, Origin looks to be a fun adventure that'll take you right into the manga of Seven Deadly Sins. This launches on January 28th. The last game for the month brings you some more anime style in Code Vein 2. Code Vein 2 is the highly anticipated follow-up to the cult favorite anime style action RPG. Set in a bleak future where humanity and vampiric revenants struggle to survive, you play as a revenant hunter, and with the help of another character named Lou, a mysterious companion who can manipulate time, you'll travel between past and present to rewrite history, uncover lost truths, and reshape the fate of a dying world. Combat remains familiar to the first game, blending fast-paced action with strategic depth. Drain blood from fallen enemies to unlock powerful skills, customize your build with expanded blood code system, and experiment with new weapons and supernatural abilities called Formé to craft your own playstyle. You're also given the option to have a partner character fight by your side, whether summoned into battle or assimilated to enhance your own strength, adding another layer of tactical choice to the battle system. Explorable environments, intense boss battles, and a story that spans 2 timelines make Code Vein 2 a dramatic, stylish, and deeply immersive action RPG. If you love the original and you're a fan of challenging, narrative-driven action games with an anime flair, this sequel is one you'll want to check out. And you can routinely find the first game on sale for very cheap. So if you want to dive into that one first before checking out the sequel, then I highly recommend waiting for a sale. Code Vein 2 launches on January 29th. Alright, so that is it for the new RPGs of January. Next up are a couple patches and some updates to existing games that are pretty big, so check these out. So whether you're a fan of a Warcraft Classic or retail, January has you covered. On January 13th, the Burning Crusade Classic pre-patch launches, and then 1 week after, on January 20th, the WoW Midnight pre-patch launches as well. So you can take your pick and dive into Classic, you can jump into retail and check out the update, which brings the brand new Devourer class to Demon Hunters, as well as a multitude of changes and stat squishes and all kinds of stuff. So there's a lot here. I can't get into every bit in the video, but if you want to check that out, it is Warcraft. You know Burning Crusade. You know what's coming up with Midnight, so check out the patch notes if you want, but I just wanted to call those to your attention. So again, Burning Crusade Classic comes out on January 13th, while Midnight pre-patch drops on January 20th. So the last game on my list that is getting a major update is No Rest for the Wicked. It is a hard, difficult game, but it is finally adding co-op, and this is a highly requested feature, and I'm really excited to see it. I personally haven't played it, it's on my list, but this looks really fun. So just in case you don't know, No Rest for the Wicked is a dark fantasy action RPG where combat is slow, weighty, and deliberate, taking clear inspiration from Souls-like games. Every swing matters, stamina management, positioning, and timing are key, whether you're facing a single enemy or a relentless boss encounter. The game blends action RPG combat with deep loot systems, meaningful gear choices, and a persistent world that changes based on your progress. Weapons feel distinct, builds matter, and experimentation is encouraged. This game looks difficult, it is brutal, it is hard, and I gotta be in a mood for something like this. But this next patch adds the highly anticipated co-op feature, allowing you to play with friends or join up with randos, whatever it is, you can play with friends now. And that adds a brand new flavor of gameplay, giving the game so much more to it. This is awesome. I'm really glad to see it. I've heard nothing but good things about No Rest for the Wicked, so awesome to see the co-op patch go live. No Rest for the Wicked co-op launches on January 22nd. All right, so that is what I could find in terms of RPGs for the month of January. If I missed something, if you're going to be playing something that I didn't cover, please let me know. And even if I did cover it, let me know what game you're excited for. I'd love to hear from you. So as for me, I'm going to be checking out the Warcraft retail pre-patch for Midnight. They're adding Devourer, which I main Demon Hunter. I'm excited for that. And it's just, you know, fun to jump into something new and have basically a new class to play for, you know, retail WoW. So that's what I'm going to be doing in January until we get into February, where, you know, we got some more games coming out and we'll be talking about that as well. So if you want to catch me on stream, that is every Tuesday, and then I'm still figuring out another day. So please bear with me until I figure out the second day for stream. But Tuesday nights around 9:30 Eastern, that is the Tuesday Tales. Again, love to have you. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments, so please let me know what you're playing, or just, you know, whatever kind of, anything you want to shout out, it's appreciated on my end. And if you like the new format, just covering the RPGs of the month. So again, thank you so much. Take care of yourself, be kind to yourself, be kind to each other, and I will see you again very soon. Thanks.